So now for enabling this, I added the setting here, which enables the dark mode admin team. And it will pick up if your OS is set on dark mode like mine in Windows 10. I just picked up the dark mode theme, and it automatically applied the dark mode theme. And now there's also different icon there to toggle. So it switched from a sun icon to a moon icon.
What if I can see the moon during the day?
I'm not sure what you mean, but yeah.
What? If you look outside, you
Yeah.
can see the moon sometimes, even when it's not at night, right?
You will need to program something that takes the sun outside and apply the dark mode.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So what feature is that? It's not a feature, it's enabled by default in the theme.
If we look at the source code, it's just applied from JavaScript because
what I mean is that how do I get this setting? Do I have to enable a feature, or is it just part of the theme?
It's part of the theme. The setting is there by default. If your admin team is not implementing this, then it's not going to work for you. But
okay.
Yeah, we could have some documentation, but it's pretty.
So we still need to go check the box to have that working.
Yeah, I wanted to have this because by default, not everyone will want to have this working, and it's not a temp switcher. It's a dark mode. It should apply itself by itself.
So for everyone in the meeting, what am I missing that will make me not want the feature working? If I can choose which one I want, if it's there. Like when I go to GitHub, or well, I mean, when I use VS Code, I switch to dark theme. I don't enable the feature and then say, okay, now I can switch to dark theme. Why should it be a checkbox and not a feature of the theme?
Yeah, it's something new from CSS. It should have been done through CSS because since Safari added this.
That's not the question again. I'm just asking about the checkbox. Why is there a checkbox that I can enable and disable in the setting instead of no checkbox? It's always on.
Yeah. I wanted to make a distinction between a dark mode and different boot swatches for the admin teams because it's quite the same, but you can apply. You could apply a dark mode theme continuously if you would use a boot swatch, and if we would add this functionality on here.
Well, maybe I don't understand how a dark theme works, but in my mind, I mean, there's a theme. It's called admin, and there's a button on the top right, and I can switch the theme. And I don't understand why I also need to check a checkbox to have the button on the top right. I don't see what I can break by having the feature, the dark mode feature enabled. Not even the dark mode enabled, but the button on the top right. I mean, if I click on the sun, it's like the old one. You're not breaking anything. So why would not people leave it this way? If they are happy with that, and just click if they want. I don't understand the double. And it's not a.
Well,
I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to.
For example, you could have by default, because eventually what I will do is normally it should be part of Bootstrap, and it should be. I should not switch from one CSS to the other. It should be part of the admin CSS team.
But it's an implementation detail, and I'm not talking about that. I don't even care if it's a Photoshop image or a CSS or a Bootstrap or whatever. I'm really not talking about how it's done. I'm asking a philosophical question about
If it should be enabled
by a checkbox, or should it be there by default? That's my question. Like today, we have a content item list when we have the content feature. There is not a checkbox to say, oh, you want a link to the content items list, or otherwise you don't see the content item links. No, I mean, it's so obvious that I go to the list if I click on the link, and it's there. I don't have to enable a feature to have the content items list.
Well,
there with
I felt like it was more arbitrary to add like
checkbox.
Yeah, checkbox, because we do the same thing with the admin menu filter, for example, which is not there by default. So it's a question that Dean has asked too, and he asked me if we could have this by default always instead, just by default checking those.
Yeah, because for me there is already a setting. It's the button on the top right. For the filter, there is nothing. It's there or it's not there. So there is a button. This is a checkbox. But for the dark mode, so maybe we need a third state, maybe. So because there are three states. There is always light, always dark, and there is maybe automatic based on the OS. And maybe
yeah.
But I don't even know today how to make the automatic. How do I get the automatic mode? Oh, it's picked up the first time you enable.
Yeah, because here if I go and I clean up my local storage.
I see. So okay. So that's the third. So it's only the first time that will pick up the OS one. Once you click, you store the choice. I see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So maybe there should be a 3-state button rotating like night, day, and then OS automatic or whatever, night and day, like, you know. And by default it's automatic, and then you can select force dark, force light. I don't know.
Yeah, we could have like another option there.
No, but so I was thinking in the setting, which is for me the button on the top right.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you mean. Or it could be like this checkbox could be use automatic dark mode, and if it's checked, you don't see the button on the top right because you can't choose. It's automatic. Or if you don't choose it, or the other way around, show me the link. Then it shows on the top right, and it's not automatic. It's whatever you choose when you click.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can leave it there, but I'm just asking why there is a checkbox here.
I just think the checkbox should be turned on by default, and you should, if people desperately don't want to support dark mode, then they can turn it off. But that's
another way. That's another way. If you don't want to see the thing on the top right, then okay, let's disable the checkbox because I don't want to see it.
I'm thinking about people that made their own admin team there also. If they don't implement this thing and they need to implement it, then you need to go on the CSS and.
No, it just means that the feature won't do anything.
Yeah,
the checkbox.
Still, if they want the button to disappear because they don't have it because they made a custom admin team.
They won't. They will just customize. They won't create their own admin theme. They will just copy the existing one and customize some things. But yeah, or they can just put a display none on the thing and done.
Yeah. Sorry for the noise there. My nephews just came back from
all good, perfect. Yeah, so to voice to have it enabled by default, and maybe if it's too visible, put it in the submenu of admin, like the profile. Like when you drop down, you can select the thing and not as a top icon. You see what happens if you scroll if you click on the admin link at the top right? This one, yeah. So maybe it could be an item there instead of the button on top right. And then, I mean, it's not visible all the time. It's just an option you don't see all the time because you never click on that, right? You select once and then, yeah, done.
Yeah, most of the time this is, yeah. Also, maybe eventually user preference. So
that's a user preference. So that's already there. that could,
Yeah.
in the dropdown, you could display the 3 states maybe in one item with the 3 icons, like toggle, 3 toggle things, like light, dark, and automatic. You know, like a 3-button toggles. It's like 3 buttons, one after the other, and then you just can select one, like a radio, and it shows the 3 icons, and it will pick up whatever you selected, which is automatic, off, night, or dark or light, and then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I like that.
Might be there. And then you can enable it all the time. They just have to go on the drop-down admin to see these options.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. It looks very cool.
No problem.